So my name is Gerson Crespo. I'm one of the founders and was also the CFO at Dega Systems. Dega Systems, we're a managed IT provider based out of New York City, focused mostly on a lot of nonprofits and also organizations in the creative ad design world. What we really brought is a unique focus on strategy with our clients and really helping them get away from the day-to-day focus most IT providers do. So we discovered ITV through our network. Fortunately, we know quite a few people in our industry that have gone through mergers and acquisitions and partner transitions of all sorts. So we already had a few people in our network that we really trusted, and pretty much everyone seemed to keep pointing to the same group or the same people, which is Reed for us. And when we met him, we actually see that there was reason for all the good praise for ITV. So we worked with them initially on an initial phase of just really the valuation, because for ourselves, we had been tossing the idea back and forth as sort of like an eventual partner transition, but you can't really kind of talk about it too specifically without having an evaluation. So we started off with that first, and I think the great thing about Reed and his team was that they were really clear about let's just get that off and done. Really weren't pushing to do much further than that, and even went as far as saying hey, listen, there's a lot of people that this is all we do, an evaluation, and maybe we reconnect at a later date, maybe we don't. But at least I can kind of share with you what the possibilities at this moment are for the organization. So the way it worked out for us is that the valuation kind of came back pretty much well within what the range that I thought it would be really to kind of move forward. So really, without even sharing that with them, we're kind of almost on the same number, just coincidentally. So with that said, we were able to start moving forward. Accomplishing our objectives, I think they were really great on that. I mean, fortunately, we didn't come in with too many things that needed to be addressed. And I think we kind of kept it pretty straightforward. The good thing for them is that they've done this enough times and they already have their recipe. And with the trust that we had with them, we were really comfortable with just sort of, following their recipe and knowing that the result that was promised at the end is what we were going to get from following the process. But yeah, I mean, our objectives really were, once we got past sort of the evaluation of the financials, really was just to try to keep things as simple as possible, as fair as possible. Definitely what I had hoped for was really just kind of getting an opportunity to to kind of neatly close on a chapter of my life that I spent many years working on, and then really, have time to, think what kind of my next move forward was going to be, and really just kind of have the freedom of just sort of, moving on to kind of something else. So I think, not everybody wants that, but I think for those of us that do, it's a powerful thing when you can kind of be in that stage and be like, all right, now I'm going to do something completely different, taking into what I've learned in the last, however many years. For me, it's like the last 20 plus years, but really kind of applying it in a different way. I would say that the top things I liked most about ITV and working with Reed and Heidi was they really just, they really were comfortable having a great, thorough answer for pretty much anything that we came up with. I think they would agree to, as much of these transactions are kind of similar, there's also a lot of stuff that's just unique to each and every one. And they were never stumped. They always had a great way, and even if they didn't have a specific answer at that moment, they had a process of how to answer it pretty quickly and get to some sort of resolution. I guess with that, what I'm saying is like, it's a scary thing because you go in and you don't know so much, but they really very much felt like kind of guides through it all, and just very relatable. And again, just always really making sure that you're comfortable with everything that's been agreed upon, that you clearly understand everything that's being said, and like I said, on a very human level. It's nowhere near a factory with them at all. Like I said, the whole time I really felt that I was working with people, and they were a great neutral party, making sure that both sides got what they want and everything was being done fairly.